Welcome back to no, that's not the name of it. Welcome back to Living Vacationland. This is our first episode with a guest. Slightly nervous about it, but we'll figure it out. This is an old friend of mine, Alex Slader. We used to do a bunch of shenanigans. I don't think I've ever ridden on a resort with you.
No, I don't think so.
I think we've just, we rode Munjoy Hill.
Yep.
That was a good one.
Yep. Golf course.
Yeah, skimboarding on a golf course.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, we got chased out of Toddy Brook skimboarding on it.
I mean, there is a ton of water.
Right.
It's a good spot.
Yeah, that was back in the forum days. I'd scour the skimboard forums, and people out in Laguna are like, yo, when it rains, the golf courses are awesome.
Yeah,
because you'll get those little standing water
Yeah.
things. You catch when you catch, though.
Oh, yeah.
I remember eating shit when you don't slide right.
Yep.
It was a good time, though.
Got a wax.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you're kind of dealing with worse than cops.
Yeah.
It's rich, entitled white dudes that can't golf that day.
Hey.
Who runs
Favorite
golf
pastime.
courses?
Rich, white, and entitled.
Yeah, who's in there on a rainy day?
He's right.
They're drinking.
No, you.
We're hippies.
Wasn't that at night?
Drinking? It's
No,
a golf
no.
course.
No, when we did it. Wasn't it at night? I don't even remember.
I don't remember. In my mind, it wasn't night, but this is many joints ago.
Yeah, many joints.
Yeah. Half of our life. And it's been one of those weird things where we've always randomly gotten back in touch with each other.
Yeah. It's been a while, though. It's been at least 10
Yeah.
years or so.
Yeah. So Alex moved out to Montana. One of the reasons I thought he'd be a cool addition to the show is we've focused a lot on Maine, but a lot of people go out of Maine, and the people that they can become out of the state and sometimes bring that stuff back to the state eventually is awesome. I learned a lot about these industries when I went out west. You don't learn about them in Maine. You'll learn about hunting and fishing and being outside, but didn't you have a year where you got on the snow every day?
No, not every day. It was every month. I went almost 3 years every month of the year.
Yep.
Trying to do that. So that was a big thing for a while. I just snowboard once a month. During the winter, obviously, it was more than that. But,
Right.
July, August, September, all those summer months, I'd just go hiking miles up to a glacier or wherever and take a handful of turns and then come back and, take it off the calendar sweet, that was August or that was October, whether it's 2 or 3 inches of snow on rock or, sun cups in the higher elevation alpine. That was really cool, but I kind of got burnt out.
And you weren't even filming it, right? You were just doing this for you.
Yeah, it was just for me, pretty much, because I love doing it. But you can love something to death, so that's kind of what I realized. Yeah. It's I love to snowboard, but I can take the summer and fall off, and it's not going to kill me.
I kind of got that with kayaking.
Yeah, okay.
When I was living up north, it was new body of water every day.
Yeah.
Because I was running my own schedule, so it's I can get up early, shoot early, go kayaking, come back and work some more.
Yeah.
But then I lost the fun of let's go find something. It was always too much of a mission.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I do. I absolutely do.
And then you get mad when you don't,
Yep.
when you strike out.
Yep.
And you're like, dude, you still got out in the mountains.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It's easy to lose perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
That's one thing I realized. It's I'll always love it, but you can get burnt out for sure like anything else.
Yeah.
And
it's not like you're getting great riding in July.
Right, for
you're
sure.
I did it.
yeah, that's what it was. It's okay, I'm doing it just to do it a lot of the time.
Right.
And, sweet, that's great. What's the point, though, after a while?
Right.
Yeah. Find something else to do. Go...
Yeah, how many brooks did you pass?
Right.
Yeah.
Or kayak like a normal person does.
So what'd you start doing in the summer once you were
biking. I'd go mountain biking or kayaking. I got a kayak and got a little into whitewater, but there's a lot of big rivers out there and lakes, obviously. So grew up doing that here in Maine, kayaking, canoeing, and started doing that out in Montana and realized like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yep.
You know, and really just kind of took it and ran. So that was the replacement therapy, I guess. You know, love being outside, and it's like, all right, I'm not going to snowboard year round. So what do I do in the summer to keep me occupied?
Yeah.
Keep that adrenaline going.
I think when you're young too, you get so wrapped up in it being your identity.
Yeah.
You're like, I am a snowboarder.
Right.
And
absolutely.
then you get this age where you're like, I'm fucking bored with it.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
Not that I don't love it anymore, but like, what else is there?
Right.
Like,
for sure.
And then you realize I just like playing with gravity.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, that's what I realized.
Yep.
And then kayaking's kind of my thing where I'm like, all right, I can do this till I'm like 90.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
For sure. Yeah.
Like, it's the one thing I can appreciate about golf. Like, you can pick it up young and you can do it your whole life.
For sure.
Like, I'm not going to snowboard my whole life. There's going to be a time where it's like, this isn't fun because you can't go fast anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be that dude that's like, got first chair.
Yeah.
Like,
75 years old.
yeah,
Like,
all set.
yeah. No, that's one thing I realized too. It's like, I moved out to Montana, I went to school for a bit, and it's like I dropped out and I want to be a ski bum, you know, and that's very easily accomplished. But
right, yeah.
you know, as the years go
all
by,
it takes is dropping out of college.
That's all it takes. Very easy, kids. Very easy. But like you were saying, it can't be your whole identity. You know, I mean, it can be, but then what are you going to talk about with other people? You know, it's like people ask, you know, as life goes by, it's like you got to figure something else out. You know, build a house or, you know, start kayaking or... I
mean, even the pros that we look up to have other hobbies.
Exactly.
Like Mike Bassich, is that his name?
Yeah, yeah.
Like builds a new tiny house every year.
Yeah, for sure. The 241 gig, right?
Yeah.
I've seen his stuff on Instagram.
He's building one now on a snowcat.
That's crazy.
So you can just bring his house to the spot.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That dude's ski bumming proper.
Wild. Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
That's where you can do it, and you're like, yeah, but I'm still awesome.
Right. You can be a ski bum, and you can do other things as well.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
That's what I've realized.
Yeah.
But I'll always love skiing and snowboarding for sure.
Yeah.
But just hopefully not love it to death.
Right.
And.
Well, and when you're not hunting for the spot that still has snow in the middle of the summer, you're actually looking around the mountains at like, that's a good line when there's like 10 feet of snow.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
That's part of what I've noticed kayaking is like, oh, you need to start mental noting these spots that they like just logged.
Yeah.
You know, because you know how hard it is in Maine to find those backcountry spots. Like, they're questionable at best usually.
Yes.
You know, are you coming back for Christmas or are you coming back this winter at all?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Nope. I've been
this
here.
This is the last year that we can hike and ride Saddleback.
Oh, right.
Which has been
I hear they just got bought.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
which I'm
good,
happy.
Right.
Like they deserve it. The area deserves
sure.
it. But dude, that place when it hasn't been groomed.
Oh wow.
Like.
Yeah.
It's fun.
We got to get you on a split board, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, that's where I realized I need a fucking split board.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not snowboarding with
snowshoes
on the back and my camera gear.
Yeah.
And my Reuben sandwich.
Well, you eat the sandwich before you drop in, don't you?
I brought two.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's smart. That's smart.
Yeah. Best Reuben I've ever had at 4,000 feet.
Excuse me.
What's your favorite backcountry sandwich? What's the packable sandwich for Mike?
Peanut butter and bacon, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
Easier That's what I was going to say.
It's a solid sandwich.
That is good.
A lot of fat.
Yep. Nice. Where do you eat those?
Where?
Yeah.
I'm not giving away my spots.
I'm blowing your spot the fuck up now.
Actually, I've done really no real backcountry skiing in Maine.
Do you want to this year, or you...
This year is going to be rough.
Don't be a pussy, Mike.
I know. I have 4 months off and no time to ski.
None. Remember the Pisgah sessions?
Yeah, I might... That was actually fun.
That was super fun. It's right down the road. That's blowing up the spot.
Yeah.
New Gloucester, Pisgah Hill. Super fun.
Maybe 200 feet of vertical.
But it's steep, so it's worth it.
That's
what you start realizing with backcountry is like hiking for 4,000 feet of vertical is rarely worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I could speak to that. It's definitely worth it.
Maybe out there.
Out there.
I guess here it was too. But like Saddleback, it was a day. Like it was a hike up and one run down.
Yep.
And that has established trails. Like most of the spots here are obviously not over tree line, or if they are, it's like 200 yards.
Right.
And the woods aren't thinned.
Right.
So it's just, unless we get a ton of snow, it's difficult. Yeah. And people get real pissed if you go on hiking trails.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yep.
Get out of my fucking way. Dragging my knuckles over here.
Right.
They're just mad because you're getting after it more than they do.
Fair.
Yep.
Right? I do find myself being that guy. There's this dude that's been leaf blowing the trail that I walk now because he mountain bikes it.
Yeah.
But now it's muddy, and now I'm that old crotchety dude that's like, fucking people. And this guy's older than me. But I'm still that old dude, angry at...
Is this the one over in the pit?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that trail.
I do too.
It's a fun little bike.
The state came in and ripped down all the kids' fucking jumps.
Oh, no.
Like, the state's mad at kids for being... Hill? They were building them all over the place. It was
there were
dope.
Some good
it was
ones.
like getting ready to be a real cool spot.
Yeah.
And then they come in and they put all these signs up. I took every sign I could find and ripped it out of the ground. I was like, you guys wonder why kids play video games and do heroin.
Yeah, that's it. Like, that's right there.
Yeah, exactly.
When did they do that? I was in there
a couple years ago. And then the signs have kind of been trickling up.
Oh, I was going to say, because I was just in there like August, and they were still... They must have rebuilt the jumps.
They didn't tear anything down, really.
Oh,
like, they half-assed did, but, like, putting a log in front of a jump is not...
No. Just a feature.
They literally just built the jump over the log. They're like, thanks. Now it's a bump.
Right.
I hate that, though. Like, and out west, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Like, they'll do real nice dirt jump sections on land they don't own, granted.
Yeah, right. So,
but the amount of hours that people put in out there for something that's not going to last is insane.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, there was I watched a movie, I was trying to find the name, but I don't remember it, back in like the mid-90s of some of the pioneers in mountain biking, and they built like these crazy trails. Like some of the bridges and features were wildly dangerous. Yeah. But yeah, they came in and just like cut everything down. Ripped all the bridges up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, park rangers and like I get it, but you need some of that.
Did you see that guy on Rogan that his job was he was drug enforcement for the parks?
Oh, no. I did
Dude,
not.
it's a good episode. I thought I was going to hate this dude. Yeah. But it's literally his job to find cartels that are illegally growing on public lands.
Oh, shit.
It was so good, dude. He was like, there's stuff that we busted that we caught them spraying pesticides. Like, in the act of it. So they literally had to patrol the spot until it was safe enough for people to go in there and cut the plants down. So they'd let them live for like 2 more weeks.
Yeah, because it's not just growing plants. I mean, you're ruining runoff. You're ruining agriculture.
Yeah. Like, these are shitty growers. Yeah. They're not
what we want.
Right. No. Especially in an emerging market like we've got. Like, there's enough people doing it right that... I don't want to say fuck the cartels, because that seems like a poor thing to say.
I don't think they're your audience, but...
Yo, fuck the cartels. We only got 30 viewers. El Chapo's down there. He's one of our few views. This motherfucker.
Oh, no. That was out west or in Maine?
Yeah, it was New Mexico, I think it was, mostly.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Sense. Yeah. Huh. He like stumbled upon it, and then there was no one to enforce it, I guess. So they had to like create this job.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'll try and figure out what episode it is and send it to you. But
nice.
It was one of my favorites because it was, you go in and you're like, oh, this guy's anti-weed. And he's like, I don't give a fuck about weed.
No, right.
Like,
it's other shit.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah. Even out in California, there was legal growers that were illegally detaining water during the droughts.
Right.
So they could water their crops.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Right? I mean, they're not doing that to the almond farmers.
Right.
Those guys need a bunch of water too. What's the problem?
Right.
Kind of a double standard.
They get it. They get it regardless. They'll just drill deeper.
No, for sure. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. So I saw this statistic that there's not like actually a drought in California.
Right.
The agriculture has just sucked all the water out.
Yeah, that's true. I heard that a few years ago as well, and it makes sense too, because people hear drought and they think like, oh yeah, it's because, there's not enough water. It's like, well, no, there is still water. We just have a lot of people.
Yeah.
And there's
a lot more almonds.
And a lot more almonds and a lot more cattle and, all that stuff. So it's strained. Like the resources are just not just in California,
Right.
like all over the West.
This is nationally.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm curious though. So people are like, don't use water. Like, don't flush the toilet every time. Does that matter in Maine?
I mean,
I've always wondered that. Like
Like
we're
here, I have
95% water.
Yeah, like I have
Yeah.
a well, like a personal well. I think when they drilled it, it was like 60 gallons a minute at 230 feet. Like they couldn't even put the drills any further because the water
Wow.
pressure was so high.
So high.
Like it's not really going to matter.
Right.
Like
No.
he said, we could run this whole road in a couple other houses and never run out of water.
Right.
So I think like private systems, it's probably not.
You're probably good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But like Lewiston, Auburn, places on public water.
You think so?
I think
They
it's
just got a bigger pipe.
well, it's good. It's good to be conservative. I
Yeah.
think because if you look into the future, then whether it's California or Maine or Zimbabwe, like if we continue at the rate that we're going now, like we will start running out of water, and we are running out of food and trees and all
Right.
that stuff. It's not apparent right now to everyone,
Right.
but that seems like it's the trend.
Well, and you have,
You know.
like on trees, we have skewed statistics where it's like there's more trees nowadays than ever.
Sure.
Yeah,
But they're
under 2
this
years
big.
old. Yeah.
Right,
versus
but they're
this
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
because most
and a lot of them in
were-
Maine are GMO. Like they're made to get like 4 2x4s out of.
Yeah,
Like they
yeah.
grow them to a point where they can mill them to
Yep.
just what they need and then cut it, replant it.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. And that definitely affects, the quality of the wood too. Like the size of the rings, the spacing between the rings,
Yep.
so
Well, and
the
it's all
wood
pine.
quality suffers.
It's not
well, sure.
a mixed forest. It's,
Right, exactly. Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah,
Do you
go and
know?
buy
Go ahead.
studs from Home Depot from like Irving up in Canada where they're doing that
Right.
versus like
Right.
my wife's family owns a mill right here and they cut down hemlock. Like it's a crazy difference in structural
Oh, yeah.
integrity of the
Yeah.
wood versus what you're going to get mass produced.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you know about the cathedral pines? Or like the king pine thing?
I've heard of no, I don't know what's going on.
So the king pines back in the day were the tallest, straightest trees.
Okay.
And they were reserved for the king. So like once people came over here and established the area,
Yeah.
they weren't allowed, like it wasn't habitable at first. So they
Sure.
made it habitable, and
Yep.
then the king was like, and by the way, those trees are ours. So if
Oh, wow.
it was like treasonous to cut it down.
Have I told you about that story with my parents' house?
No.
Yeah. So my parents' house in New Gloucester was built in the 1780s. And so it was a ship captain's house.
Yep.
And across the street was a pub. And the King of England would send their massmen out here to find mass for ships. They would stay at my parents' house because they had a small inn.
I think you have told
Yeah,
me
get
this.
hammered at the house across the street. And then go up north, log trees, and drag them down and ship them back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So they were, did you say they worked for the king?
Yeah, they were the
Gotcha.
king's massmen, is what they would call them.
Oh.
Fuck them. Burning your parents' house down. For the sake of history.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like legit.
Sorry, Bruce!
Yeah. And it wasn't like some crazy story. Like it's in the New Gloucester Historical Society.
That's crazy. We
Yeah.
should do an episode on, like, your parents' house.
It's a cool house.
Dude, it overlooks, like, all of New Gloucester. Like, back in the day, it was the shit.
Yeah.
You could tell.
And
Like,
it was twice as big back in the day. Like
yeah,
our
they cut
neighbor's
the
house is-
fucking house in half and moved half of it down the hill. That still blows my mind that we move houses.
Yeah.
That is wild. Yeah.
Insane.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and that wasn't even that. It was like the 40s, I think, that they did that.
Well, it seems like a thing to do in the
Yeah,
40s.
just take a chainsaw, cut half the house.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was a breakup,
Yeah, I don't know.
like a divorce.
Yeah. You get half. You get this half. I get that. Oh man.
Yeah, I actually don't know the reason why.
I think we need to do an
Yeah,
episode on your parents' house.
Yeah.
How big was that when it was full? Like 5,000 square feet?
Yeah, so there was, like where my old room used to be upstairs. So that
Yep.
was like 3 times as big. That was a ballroom. And then, like small ceilings, but.
Poor.
Yeah, it must have been a huge fucking house.
Yeah.
Because it's not small now.
No.
Like it's 4 stories technically if you count the basement and the attic. And so, yeah, it
This is
was
going to be a
big.
great little excerpt.
Yeah.
Mike's white privilege.
Burying the Land Rover in the backyard.
Yeah.
Land Rover.
Yeah, the first episode, he was like, I was talking about getting stuck in the woods, and he's like, yeah, I got my Land Rover stuck in our backyard.
For context, it was a 15-year-old Land Rover that was a piece of shit.
Well, context is good.
Yeah. But we cut context out on
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So, where in Montana are you based out of?
I'm in Whitefish, Montana.
Okay.
I've been there for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And I was in Bozeman for about 10 years.
Yeah.
But then Bozeman started filling up pretty quick. And
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, I've heard it's
Couldn't
getting like
even-
Denver 10, 15 years ago.
that's absolutely what it's like.
And kind of like Austin, where it's like its own vibe in the middle of a state
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not that vibe.
Right, exactly. I think the joke is Bozeman Bozeman only 20 minutes from Montana. You know? And it's totally true.
I
It's,
might adopt that for Portland.
there you go. Portland only 20 minutes from Maine.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. That's true.
That's good marketing right there. I like it.
Yeah, because they've moved
That's
like
funny.
a ton of like outdoor tech companies in there now.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. There's a whole bunch. Sitka has an RD facility there. Sims, I think, is in that area, fly fishing.
Yep.
And I worked for Spark R&D with the splitboard bindings, manufacturing and producing splitboard bindings there for splitboards. And that company started in Will Ritter's garage, and
Yep.
now it's worldwide. We ship to REI, make orders for Burton every year,
Yep.
Jeez.
and all that. So,
That's
we're on the
awesome.
map for sure.
What were you doing there?
Mostly assembly and warranty. So
Okay.
they'd have the mills, like they'd CNC the aluminum and anodize.
Yeah, I didn't
and
realize how
everything, and-
north Whitefish is. You're like
yeah,
Canada.
It's pretty much Canada.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's great though.
A lot of
Close
green
to.
on the map around
Oh
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Tons. more than anyone could ever want.
So
If possible.
what was the change? How did you perceive moving to a place that actually has public land?
Oh, it's amazing.
Coming from Maine, where like there's land you can do stuff on, but it's not
Yeah.
called public land.
Right. It's incredible, and I found it was easy to kind of lose perspective and not take it for granted, but just kind of forget how amazing it is. Like Maine has a whole bunch, of forests and all that
Right.
stuff, but go any other place in the country and there's nothing like that, or not to the extent that Montana has it.
Right.
It's just really wild and open and.
Do they log a lot of that land? Or
Yeah,
not?
they do. They do log a lot of it. It's fairly sustainable,
Right.
So they're obviously not clear cutting and all that, but there are plenty of trees out
Less
there.
than Maine? Is it less of like a presence out there than Maine?
What, logging?
Yeah, because you go up north and you're just seeing logging trucks.
Right. Well, it really depends on where you're at. I mean, Montana is the second biggest state
Right.
in the lower 48, so
Okay.
it has different regions. Like northwest Montana, where I'm at, is pretty heavy on logging, so you'll see log trucks roll through town and on the highways, 6-7 months out of the year.
Gotcha.
And yeah, like I said, plenty of trees and mills and all that. So
Yep.
a lot of that, but a lot of forests and rivers and lakes too. That was one thing nice about moving up to Whitefish, was even more lakes and rivers, and skiing is just as good up there.
What resorts are up there?
Whitefish Mountain Resort is
Okay,
is the ski hill, and yeah, it's actually not that fun. It's really cloudy in the winter, and
Don't come here.
Yeah, let me rephrase all that. Can we edit that last part out? It's really boring. The weather's terrible, and everyone's really mean.
It's
and
the flat part of
aggro.
Montana.
Yeah. So eastern Montana is great. It's really flat and beautiful. You can
Yeah.
see for miles and miles. So if you love the West, then you would be right at home in, Miles City, Montana. That is the spot to
Sounds
be.
fun.
Yeah, that's where I'm moving. So, love it.
A lot
out
of
there.
jobs there.
So is Whitefish is it a big city or?
No, it's not. It's I think maybe like 8,000 or so. There's
Okay, so good enough.
Yeah. It's a
It kind of looks like the valley of that area, though,
Yeah.
right?
yeah. It's like the northwest corner of the Flathead Valley.
Yeah.
So you have Kalispell is like not a city, but it's a bigger town.
How far is that drive? Because they look right next to each other.
Oh, that's about 15 miles to the south. I think
that's not too bad.
Yeah,
out west wise.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the park glacier is about an hour away.
Okay.
You get there a lot.
And I do not so much since I've moved there, because it's kind of a shit show in the summer.
Yeah.
As soon as that road opens, there's only one road, and the traffic is terrible, as you can imagine. So basically, like July and August, I don't go anywhere near there.
Yeah.
Plenty of other spots.
Everyone wants to pet buffalo now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Everyone wants to pet the buffalo and swim in the hot springs that you're,
Did you hear about the guy that put his face over it?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I would not recommend that. No, as tempting as it might be.
No.
Yeah, don't
Even
do
if
that.
it was lukewarm water, I don't think I'd do it.
No. Well, you're probably one of the smarter ones in the population,
Well, thank you,
Jake,
Alex.
so keep that gene pool unchlorinated. Oh man.
So you said there's a lot of water up there. One of the things I noticed when I lived in Kingfield is that you get into the mountains and there's less, because of you have angles there.
Sure.
So a lot of like your rivers, you can't really kayak in them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it seems like out west, the volume's bigger.
Right. Oh yeah. Yep.
So a lot of it's more accessible out there.
Yeah, very accessible. Plenty of rivers to raft or kayak. Flathead Lake is the biggest freshwater lake west of the Mississippi.
Really?
And we
it's
have
so hard getting
big.
perspective
I
on
know.
it.
It is. It's almost impossible until you are out there.
That's
It's the only one you can see when you pull up the West Coast.
Yeah. No, the computer does not do it justice.
It doesn't.
Is it a big vacation lake?
Yeah. Yep. There's a lot of houses. Locals live all around, kind of, and then the southern part is Flathead Indian Reservation. So,
What's it like living near an Indian reservation? That's actually.
I don't go down that way as much, but I think the Flathead Reservation is probably not. It's not as rural, I guess you could say, as let's say like the Blackfeet or Fort Belknap. Some of the other reservations like Cheyenne is pretty rough. They got it pretty rough down there.
Yep.
But I can't really speak to that. I don't know from experience, but that whole area is amazing, and I'm really fortunate to be out there. It's pretty similar to Maine too. There's a lot of similar wildlife. We got plenty of moose and deer and stuff like that, because it's the same latitude, as Maine.
Is it grizzlies out there?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of grizzlies.
Have you seen them?
I definitely have.
Like out riding?
Yep. Not snowboarding, not in the winter, but
do you carry a gun?
No, I don't carry a gun. I have bear spray.
Yeah.
I have bear spray with me at all times for sure, because I've been in, one or two encounters where I didn't have it, and somehow I'm still alive.
Right.
So now I don't even walk out to take the trash without
Really?
bear spray. Not literally, but they do come into town.
Right.
They'll go into the alleys and eat the trash sometimes, unfortunately. So you got to be aware, and you got to expect it.
Right.
It's one of those things, like if it's never happened to you, if you've never seen one up close, then you're probably not gonna know what to do when you see it, and you're probably gonna freak out.
Yep.
But it's just a fact of life.
No matter what you've thought in your head of what a grizzly looks like, when you see them in person, they're bigger than what you thought.
Absolutely. Vision and reality are rarely the same, and
slightly on the same scale as moose. But moose you kind of get like it's a horse with antlers.
Yeah. Yep.
Grizzly, you're like, it's like bigger than a moose.
Yeah.
With claws the size of its antlers, like
exactly. Yeah.
Just seeing the marks on trees from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And big.
Big.
Yeah. I didn't even think about high, but
Right. No, there's definitely spots like southwest Montana, kind of closer to Yellowstone. There are always encounters with hunters or whatever, like right around now or in the fall, where for whatever reason, you're dressing an elk or you're just hiking out in the woods, and it gets real nasty real quick.
Yep.
But
You've seen those videos of Cameron Haynes chasing off bears?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you follow him?
no.
He's
Dude, he spot and stalks bears.
Yeah.
So like crawls up to him with a bow and then runs a marathon.
Where is this?
Yeah,
all over. Dude,
he's out in Oregon.
He works for the water
Oh wow.
district.
Huh.
Like his job is he like has a job. He's Joe Rogan's buddy.
Okay.
His daily training is running a marathon.
Huh.
He runs a marathon a day.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be dressing out in the backcountry. I think he's based like Oregon, right?
He says he does all of that so he can dress elk.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like he stays
Yeah.
in that good a shape so he can.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
He just makes me feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I don't think he's. He might be Montana.
Yeah, he's somewhere out
Interesting.
there. But yeah, then he's got these videos where grizzlies are like 15 feet away from him trying to get his kill, and he just doesn't flinch at all.
Wow.
Oh no, Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, he's one of those people that just makes you feel like you do nothing in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Like he has a full-time job, multiple hunts a year. He has his own custom Under Armour shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
That's
and he
wild.
just won't quit his job. Every time he's on Rogan, Rogan's like, quit your fucking job.
Yeah.
Like, you're good,
That's funny.
you know.
Huh.
He's an interesting Instagram to follow. He's one of my favorites on there because it's just like, he's not sugarcoating it. There's no way to like fake that for the gram.
No, of course
yeah.
not. No.
Like-
Right. See too much of that nowadays.
Right.
It'd be
Yeah.
nice to. Reminds me of Alone in the Wilderness. I don't know if you've ever seen that PBS special, but I think there was a short book. But Dick Prenneke, back in like the 50s, moved out to like remote Alaska and built a cabin by hand. Lived entirely by himself. To say it was off the grid would be an understatement because, well, there wasn't really a grid back then anyway.
Right.
You know, and there were plenty of people
We said
homesteading
Alaska.
that days. Right. So what more do I need to tell you? But no, the dude, you know, fished and hunted for his food and was completely self-reliant. He'd have like planes drop flour and, you know, like
I feel like I've seen something
supplies,
on this guy, but I don't
you
think I
probably
saw
have.
that.
It's on YouTube and stuff like that. But
What was it called?
Alone in the Wilderness.
Okay.
This was in like the 60s and 70s. I believe he's dead now. But
Did he self-film it?
He did. Yeah, he had a tripod. Yep, he had a
That
tripod.
blows my
and
mind back then. Like,
I know.
It's challenging enough nowadays. Back then, they were like lugging in tape,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
Oh, I have seen this dude.
Yeah. Incredible.
His cabin's like.
This cabin's awesome.
Legit.
Yeah, I think it's still there today in Twin Lakes, Alaska.
So that
Pretty cool.
Mike and I talked. Do you know who Fly Rod Crosby is?
No.
First Maine registered guide.
Oh, cool.
It was a
Okay.
woman. But she did these sales things down in New York and Boston to like sell the Rangeley Lakes region to those people as a tourist destination.
Yeah, sure.
But they built a cabin like that guy's cabin.
Nice.
Like they sent the cabin to this thing and built it on site. And it to me it just puts perspective into like back then what building a cabin meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because to them they're just like it's a kit. Like we know how to build
Sure.
like cut a cabin.
Yeah.
Buy one on Amazon now.
Yeah.
Right.
Like legit.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But they'd
crazy.
be mad at you for how much it is on Amazon.
Yeah.
They're like, just go. The trees are right there.
Right.
You fucking.
What are you
idiot.
waiting for? You waiting for
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
They probably hand cut those.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you know,
Oh, yeah,
like-
absolutely. Yep.
Insane.
Definitely.
And that's really, to me, like, yeah, like a little bit of a solar array and stuff, but that's all I want.
Right. Simple. Yeah.
Nice little cabin, keep you outside, keep you dry when it's wet outside.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
That's all you need.
right.
It's true. You don't
Until
need
you
a
have a
big
kid.
mansion or.
And
Yeah.
your kids got rich taste.
I know we almost did a tiny house too. It'd be
That
real
would've
interesting
sucked.
right now.
Yeah.
No
We
town
need
in
a
the
second tiny house.
Yeah.
They're not even registering tiny houses in Maine anymore.
No,
You can't get a VIN number for the trailer.
Huh.
and most of them won't let you park more than 6 months.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I contacted every town in Cumberland County, and they're all like, "Yeah, no,
Really?
we're not gonna let you do that."
What if you have a house on it?
I think you can do it as a what do they call that? Like a AD, like a additional dwelling unit, ADU, I
Gotcha.
think, but not for your primary residency.
Interesting.
Yeah, though they just started to adopt codes to like allow skylights for what do they call that?
I don't know.
Like the windows that firefighters get in.
For tiny houses?
Yeah, so like normally you would need I forget what they call the windows so that a firefighter is able to get in.
Oh, people weren't using those in tiny houses.
Yeah, because they're
okay.
too small. So now they've
Right.
like allowed skylights to be considered that and other things that.
I mean,
Because that was their big thing, is like for safety regulations.
Right, if there is an emergency.
Rip the house apart.
Yeah.
It's one fucking
no,
room.
It's my house. I worked so hard.
Nothing's up to code, and that's why we had a fire.
Yep. All right, well, burn to death in your beautifully constructed home.
Right.
It looks great.
Lovely reclaimed wood.
Yeah.
It's very dry.
Very dry. Oh, man.
It sucks because it is a good model. Like, everything's too big. This house is too big, and it's a small house.
Yeah. Yeah, especially once the basement's finished.
Right. It's a lot of space.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, not that there's a lot of single 30-year-olds out there, but if it's just you,
Oh, yeah. It would be...
like me and my dog, I'd be doing laps around this place.
Yeah, once you throw a couple kids in the mix, it's...
Couple?
Well, we'll start with one.
Fucking
See
hope
how that
so.
works.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah.
How many you want?
One.
Yeah. Do you want kids?
Perfect. No, I don't.
I think I'm at that spot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm at that spot.
Yeah.
I've been at that spot for a long time, and
I see everything that my friends can't do now, and I'm like,
yeah. I mean, I love kids, especially the ones that aren't mine. You know,
right.
kids are great, and I don't have a dog either, but I love dogs. I'll probably have a dog at some point in my life. But
the dog is as much as I love Ava, like I'd probably have gone out to Montana by now, and
sure,
you know what I mean. Like they do change.
Yeah, no, they definitely. Yeah,
They ground you. Like, it's
Yeah.
difficult.
And you have a skewed perception of what you think you can do with your dog.
Oh,
Like I got
yeah,
Ava,
of
and she's
course.
tiny. I was like, I can put her in my lap,
Yeah.
fill up a car with my friends,
Yeah.
go for a hike. She's not going to take up space. I haven't done that fucking once.
Yeah.
And she whines in the car and does laps around my car.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep.
whatever you
sometimes
think you're going to get for a dog, you're probably not going to get.
Yeah.
Unless you're like, I want a golden retriever.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, like we got lucky because Oakley backpacks with us.
He doesn't
which is
shut the
nice.
fuck up.
No, he doesn't do that.
you can get lucky. Still a little shit. Make it sound like
Outside-
Ava's the only little shit in
No,
the
no,
area.
No, he's a shit at the house. Outside, he's good. That's about the only place.
Right.
But yeah, it's difficult. Like if you want to backpack in the winter, like you really only do it in the shoulders. Like you can't do it dead of winter. Like he can hike for a day dead of winter, but going out for 3-4 days, it's
And then you see
not
everyone
easy.
with the booties and the jacket and
Oh,
the goggles.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like,
Right.
what did it take to outfit your
That's so
fucking
funny.
dog?
Yeah.
Seriously.
We tried that once.
Yeah. Ava doesn't shiver when she's moving.
No, same with Oakley.
It's if we're sitting.
Yeah.
She's like, ugh.
Yep. No, I can see that.
Yeah. It is fun riding with your dog, though. Have you ridden with a dog?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's so fun.
yeah.
Yeah, I've
No,
never
it's
done
very
that.
cool. Yeah.
You did it with Ava.
fun.
She did Pisco with us.
Yeah, that's true.
I watched that video and I'm like, how the fuck did you keep your dog? Like, my dog runs away for like 6 hours at a time.
Oh man. Right.
But she's so fun to watch when she's like running in the woods.
Nice.
I clocked her at 37 miles an hour up north.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's insane.
She's fast.
She fucking books.
That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd watch the sunset at one spot that I will never give away. I'll bring people there, but you sign in an NDA when we get there.
Yeah.
It looks it from height of land past Kingfield at that whole range. So, like,
Oh wow.
almost all of Western Maine. And you can see, like, every mountain in between.
Very cool.
And I used to smoke a joint there and let Ava run around
Yeah.
and watch the sunset.
Cool.
And then I'd just drive away. And she'd still be running. And I'd look in my rearview mirror and she'd be bolting.
No way.
And she had this, like, I'm going to murder something look on her face. You know, just digging.
Yep. That's
But-
funny.
It's fun seeing your dogs do that. But when you're trying to go grocery shopping and you have no idea where your dog is, that sucks.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. She had all the freedom in the world when I lived in Strong. And every time I looked outside, she'd be on the yellow line in the middle of the fucking road. And we had like hundreds of undeveloped acres behind the house. Like, there's literally one fucking spot you can't be.
Yep.
And you're there.
Yep. Huh.
Fucking dogs. Do you have is there mountain lions out there?
Yeah, we do. Yep. Yep.
Have you seen them?
I have actually. Yeah, I got a good story. I was biking, Forest Service road. I think I had skis on my pack or something, but it was like, let's say May or June, came down a hill and saw a dead deer like just lying on the road, and I got up maybe like 10, 15 feet away, and then all of a sudden a mountain lion pokes its head up. It was behind the deer, munching on it. It had blood all over its face and just looked straight at me. And I just froze, like, what the fuck?
Right.
And then it just took off into the woods, ran away. And, I went up and I think I skied or something. I came back down a few hours later, and the only thing left on the road was like a little pile of blood and some fur.
No bones, nothing. It ripped
nothing.
The whole...
It took the whole thing. Came back after I left.
That's
so
crazy.
That's basically my one encounter with a mountain lion. Pretty wild.
Gnarly.
I like to tell people that's the only time a person's seen a mountain lion before the mountain lion saw them.
Right.
It's like, those things are stealthy.
They are.
And I'm showed up
convinced they're in Maine. They have to.
Oh, they totally are. Totally are, like lynx or bobcat. Like, well, I don't know what the difference is, but
I think there's mountain lions, which are like twice the size of that.
Okay, right. Oh, I'm sure
and
there are.
The state says there isn't.
State that says there isn't, right.
I don't think there's a lot. I don't think there's enough for us to be like worried about. I think that's why they say there isn't.
Sure, right.
But you get up north and everybody, like people that spend time in the woods are like, there's fucking mountain lions in the woods. What do you think? You think there's mountain lions in Maine?
I'm still.
He works with the Appalachian Mountain, so he has to be a little careful.
Yeah.
I'm still on the fence. Like, you see a bunch of game cameras, but then slowly they get denounced as being in Canada somewhere. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Right. I don't think they necessarily stay in Maine. Like, they move quite a bit, don't they?
Yeah, probably.
Their hunting grounds are quite large.
Right.
When I was living in Strong, the reason that I thought to ask you that was there was a sand pit across the road, and the people in the sand pit came and knocked on my door one day, and they were like, just so you know, we found a half-eaten moose carcass in the pit this morning that wasn't there yesterday. Damn. And they were like, we're pretty sure there's like a mountain lion or something with cubs down there, and we've seen your dog down here.
Oh, yeah.
Which she was not supposed to be down there.
Yikes.
But they were like, just so you know. That's when I was like, all right, my dog does not have free reign of the fucking world anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's... I don't care how big your dog is. Like, that would not be a pretty
my dog is not big either. It might get away from a mountain lion, though.
Yeah, I don't know how fast they run.
Dude, I'll be like fast. A step away from her and I can't grab her.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
She's a wiry one. But in the same area, and we're going to have somebody on that's a very big proponent of Bigfoot in Maine. Like, has data, has pictures that he thinks is sign of it. I'm skeptical, but I'm willing to listen.
Yeah.
Where I'm at. Yeah. Because of stuff like this. I was walking through the woods. This is the first and really only time I've really wished I had a gun in the woods. Is I was walking through the woods with Ava, and like from here to probably that room next door, I hear this noise, like get up, like 8 feet. You know what I mean? Like I hear this noise start at the ground, and it's like something getting up.
Oh wow!
And I couldn't see it. It was like thick woods.
Yep.
But
damn.
I felt so fucking vulnerable.
Yeah.
You're like, I just heard this noise move bigger than me.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm out here with my wiry dog and nothing.
Right.
You know?
Mercy.
Yeah. The woods will get you.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. There's always something out there.
What was your most humbling experience in the woods?
Ooh. Well, I broke my leg in an avalanche.
What?
Yeah, when I was younger. I was like 23.
Out in Montana?
Yeah, Montana. Happened me and a buddy, we were just messing around, late spring storm, and before I knew it, busted off a wet slide and spit me out the bottom of a chute, and I was just sitting there. I stayed on top of the debris, but my tib fib was broken, and just kind of like in a daze. I didn't know where my buddy was. We were just a couple of assholes that didn't know what we were doing.
Right, on top of being hurt, you're like, I don't know where my friend is.
Yeah, and so I'm just starting to freak out, screaming and crying and yelling. But it turns out a friend of mine was in the area, and he skied over, saw what was going on. He's like, all right, we need to get you some medical assistance. And he splinted me up, just with some stuff he had in his backpack. and I eventually ended up getting airlifted out by a helicopter. So
They like hook you on?
No, they actually were able to land. They were able to land
good.
like right kind of near where I was. So got into the chopper and flew me to the hospital in Bozeman. I had surgery that night, and it took about 6-7 or so months to heal. And
Sucks.
yeah, so that stands out as the most humbling experience I've ever had.
That trumps mine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things, like, at the time, it was incredibly painful and
Right.
a ridiculous experience because I wasn't prepared for it.
Right.
But now it's a lesson, you
Right.
know? And
You're
so
probably prepared now.
I'm prepared for sure because it's happened to me, and now I just have a different lens, you know, looking at the snow. And whenever I'm out in the backcountry, whether it's by myself or with a group of friends, I'm conservative.
Did you guys cause the slide?
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah.
It was me that did it, and my buddy got smashed up against cliff band, half buried, broke his jaw, knee, messed his hand up pretty good, and
Are you
he's
guys
out.
still friends?
Yeah, we're still friends, believe it or
Like,
not.
fuck you, bro.
Right? He was pissed. No, he's out in Washington State right now, and
Nice.
he doesn't snowboard much anymore. But he's a skateboarder.
Because of that?
Yeah, because of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll do that.
Oh, absolutely. It shook us up real good.
Yeah.
But I think the
Was it
statistic
weird getting
is
back on the snow?
I was a little weird. Yeah, I was back in Maine here. Moved back in with my family just because of my situation.
Yep.
At the time,
I vaguely
right before
remember that.
this happened. Yeah,
You being
probably.
like, I can kind of do stuff,
Yeah. Okay.
but not
Right.
burn out.
Yep. I healed up, and then I moved into Portland on the East End that winter. I worked here, and then I moved back out west. About like a little under a year after it happened. But no, it was like December or January of, I guess that same year, whatever, like 7-8 months later, before I was able to heal up and get back on my board. And it happened in June, so in hindsight, it's like, well, it's good timing, I guess. That's when I wasn't snowboarding in the summer. So,
Right.
better than November after you just buy a season's pass or something. And,
Were you snowboarding in the summer after that?
Yeah,
Or before?
I still,
After?
I was before when I was doing the whole 12 months of the year
Right.
type gig, but I'll still do that. Like out in Glacier National Park, we'll go and hike on dirt for 10 miles to get to some of the glaciers that are still there and have some really fun riding on those glaciers in the park. And, it's incredible.
Is it worth
terrain
going
up
out there for it?
Oh, it's absolutely worth it.
Like bringing your gear
Yeah.
in the summer?
Yep. Because, it's just a different kind of snowboarding,
Right.
It's very different than the resort or most backcountry that we do. And,
It probably gives you a good view of what Montana is too.
yeah.
You
It's
get to see
right.
nice summer Montana
Yep. Yeah.
and end up at a glacier and you're like, holy
Yeah.
fuck. Like,
Yeah, because it's like it's great weather that
Right.
most people don't get to ski in 85 degree,
Right.
weather like that. But you kind of asked or we were talking about, okay, well, that's kind of crazy. And most people will see us with our skis and they're like, what
Right.
the hell are you guys doing? Like, are you lost?
Yeah.
Or whatever. And it's like, well, no, but I guess we are crazy,
Right.
So
I saw a meme the other day and
takes-
it was like, let the snow come to you. And it was this guy with his skis on his thing and he's like
Right.
walking through this rock
yeah.
corridor thing.
Yeah.
Reminds me of that guy. Remember when we were out in Vermont?
Oh, yeah.
And he's just skiing like this one, or snowboarding this one patch of like.
Yeah,
200
we could hear
feet
this
and
scratching, and we were like,
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
was like, I know that fucking noise.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
that's snowboard on ice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you look across the valley and it's just up and down, up and down.
Yeah, and
That's
then we meet
awesome.
him, dude, and he's like 40-year-old, like long haired.
That's great.
I kind of got a Native American vibe. I don't know. It was just like this stereotypical like ski bum.
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
living it. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
that's the difference. You can get old and be a ski bum, but you actually have to be a ski bum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When you're young,
Right.
you can be like, I don't know, I got fucking
Yes,
hammered
yeah.
last
It's true.
night.
Right. And you
Not
get up
riding
and
today.
right. But
Yeah. You ever seen Johnny Tsunami? that old Disney movie.
Yeah.
Where he moves from Hawaii. The dude was like his grandfather.
Yeah.
Like that was exactly who he was.
Yeah, that's a less racist way of saying that. Johnny Tsunami.
Very well done.
Yeah, it was cool though. We were there on a bachelor party.
Yeah.
And it was kind of one of those like drinking beers on the top of the mountain, and we're like, probably should have just brought our boards. This would have been better. So for Mike's bachelor party, we did the Moose River up in Jackman.
No way. That's
Have
rad.
you done that?
I have not been on the river, but I've definitely seen it. Yeah, I know.
Dude, it's flat.
We have
it
a
doesn't
camp.
move at all.
No, it doesn't.
No. We were like
That's
ready
a
to
great
get
river.
drunk on the river.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
no.
it was like,
right? Oh, shit. We're never going to get
lot.
out of here.
yeah, exactly. Like every day was like, all right, we need to do X amount of miles.
That's funny.
It was fun in hindsight, but
Oh, it was a great time. It just was not what I had expected for a river.
and it was one of the few times I've felt like the touristy guy in the woods.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
That's funny.
Drew fucking packed a bunch of food in glass containers and
Yeah.
shit. So we just
Cast
had
iron
unnecessary, like a bunch
nice.
of unnecessary weight
Yeah.
when we had to portage.
Yeah, that was
Said
hard.
it right that time.
Yeah,
I
you
said
did.
porter.
And I have a terrible time with not planning trips because I'm normally
Right.
the one that like plans to
Yeah.
a T when we go out in the woods. So it's,
Yeah, it would have been a beer diet if I had.
yeah. Luckily, I mean, he did bring a full cooler of good beer.
The food was delicious too.
Oh yeah, it was
Not
fantastic.
hating on the food, but
But fuck, on a flat
I
river.
still have some of your shit, by the way, if you're listening to this. But yeah, that one was fun. And it was the first thing in Maine that I had done. This is what fascinates me about out west in comparison to Maine is that there's more long-term trips you can do.
Right.
You know, like here,
Yeah.
the Allagash is kind of like the biggest
Right.
water trip you're going to do. Out there, you can
Yeah.
Yeah.
go for 2 weeks if you want to.
At least in the wilderness, like you could do, the Penobscot
I'm finding
all the way
more now
source
that
to
I
sea.
figured it out,
Yeah, but you're gonna go through populated towns.
Right.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah. And they embrace it as an industry out there more
Yeah.
than out here.
Yeah,
Like
I
here,
think-
they're like, they tell you to do the same routes.
Right.
Like when you
Yeah.
Google it, it's like, try the
Yeah,
Allagash.
start here. And,
Yeah. I'm like, I don't
for sure.
want to.
That's funny.
Like, give me the shit. I don't want the
Right,
tourism
right.
shit. Give
Oh,
me the
my
shit
goodness.
shit. And after scouring Google Earth, like, it's there. Just
Yeah.
people don't talk about it.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
They're a little bit harder to get to,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, people don't want to do any work these days. They want
No.
everything just handed to them. It
Yeah.
seems like, it's like, oh, well, where do I go and what do I do? Like, tell me everything that I need.
Right.
So I can just close my eyes and do it.
Yep.
Oh, it's so true. Like,
But-
so my wife and I did Kilimanjaro 3 years ago now, and it was like they forced you to not do anything. Like, I'm trying to carry my own bags. I'm trying to do this
Right.
stuff, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
Like, we set up everything.
Right.
It's like, come on. Like, even if you want to do it, they
Right.
make
I
it
don't mind,
impossible.
I don't mind.
I
Yeah.
came up here to struggle.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't
Yeah.
like, oh, hope there's an escalator to the
Right,
top.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
And not that it wasn't difficult, but I
Right.
mean, like, you're not even allowed to self do that mountain. Like, you have to have
Really?
It has to be guided.
You
like,
have to
Sure.
be
like
guided.
a Patagonia Pro.
No, they
couldn't
still
do it.
have to
Doesn't matter
have
who you are.
like they could do everything they want, just pay a guide to come with them.
Right.
But it's in a national park, and that's the way they collect money is to pay the
Wild.
guard service or the guide service.
Yeah.
And the guard service.
Yeah. Well, actually, funny enough, going into Kilimanjaro, it's all gated,
Yep.
and it's just like 10 dudes with AKs
Nice.
sitting. Like, you have to have your permits. And,
Interesting.
Right.
Are they like
Yeah.
serious as fuck?
yeah.
Yeah.
And mainly the reason they're there is so locals can't come in because they have a problem with like. Well, no, they have a problem with like people trying to.
I just want to climb the mountain.
Right.
No, like trying to hassle selling stuff.
Right.
And
Oh, yeah.
stuff like that.
Huh.
But,
Interesting.
yeah, but yeah, they made it extremely difficult to struggle
Yep.
as much as you probably should doing something like that.
Right.
And I feel like, to your point, that's the culture now is people just want to pay somebody to,
Yeah.
basically
Right.
just ride along.
Yeah, it's like it's a commodity. They've turned these things into commodities, rivers, mountains, whatever, like look at Everest or like so many of those other
Yosemite.
cases where right.
Yeah.
It's like,
You know, it started
you're
out as a
buying
like,
it.
hey, let's not let big business fuck up this land, and then
Yeah.
they were like, hold on, now we can sell this land as a destination.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, on that note, I'm sure you know where I'm going to
Yeah,
go with
for
this.
sure.
Our first real episode or second episode, we did a thing on the Katahdin Woods and Waters. Do you know
cool.
about that?
Not really. No.
It's a national monument right now. They're trying to make it a national park. And
wow.
to do that, they've like stripped timber rights from people. Like you can't go on there with a car or anything like that. And something I'm kind of curious about, and I see both sides of this, and I enjoy both sides of this. But how does recreation change for you when you sign into a place? Does it excite you when you get to a booth that you have to sign into, or are you more into going into the backwoods and finding your own spot? Do you get what I mean by that?
Yes, I do. I'm definitely more on the unguided end as far as my preference goes, because I get it that like we need to preserve these places and it's important to, just keep track of who's using it and why. But to me, like I prefer to just go in, not have to document, what I'm doing or whatever. But there's definitely an argument to be made, I think, for both sides, so I would say I'm more on the conservation end of things, but I don't know. I haven't really thought a lot.
And there is something kind of exciting about signing into a chunk of land. You're like,
no,
there's shit in here.
Right.
They wouldn't be guarding it if there wasn't shit in here.
Right. Yeah.
But you're not necessarily finding it yourself, is what I feel like.
Right. That's true. That's a good point.
They're like, go down that road.
Yeah.
But like we talked about, it's a double-edged sword because, in 150 years, if you don't conserve those places, then there's no places to go and find anymore. Like it's all either timberland or some development.
But some of my favorite spots are on timberland.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know if it's the same out there, but
no, it is. It's no, that's true. But
I'm not totally against the logging industry. I don't think you are either. But
no.
To me, I'm weary about giving the federal government the right to run land.
Yeah,
when they can barely run.
They do a terrible job managing the land.
Right.
In my opinion, my humble opinion.
Comparatively to loggers that live there and hunt there.
Right. They are a little more conscious about the sustainability end of it, I think. You know, they're not just trying to sell off land or parcels to whoever the fuck wants to buy it, know?
Yeah. Which is what we talked about with like the difference between federal managed land and state managed land. Like state is required to manage it for profit.
Right.
So all your industry is always going to trump anybody else, where the Fed is required to manage it for essentially recreation, nonprofit. But it's hard because, they don't do fucking shit. Right. But yet they're the ones that are forced to do it that way. So it's a hard balance. And I think it's always going to be a hard balance.
Well, and that also gives them, I'm pretty sure, I guess don't quote me on this, but I think that gives them rights to military usage on that land.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure they've gotten like...
I'm sure in wartime, like if they needed to test at Yosemite, they could kick everybody the fuck out. And
Yeah.
Never thought about it, but I don't see any reason why not.
Yep.
I mean, look what happens in a shutdown.
Right, yeah.
Can't get into it.
Shut down.
Yeah.
Right. That's like one of the first things to shut down.
Yeah. And look what happened to like Joshua Tree and all these places when it did shut down.
Yeah, it just got trashed.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Yep.
You're hanging yourself right now, Mike.
I'm not for or against anything. It's just... that sounds terrible.
That's Mike's book of ethics right there. Not for or against anything.
It's all got to be managed properly with a balance, and it's fucking difficult.
Yep. No, it is. It's almost impossible. It seems like these days, because there's such strong proponents on each side, and it seems like no one's willing to compromise. But
no, the disparity between those two just gets further and further.
Right. Yep. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
But Mike,
and then we make it a political issue, and it's not.
Yeah.
Right. No, it's not. It's absolutely not.
Yeah.
You were saying you work for AMC or?
No. I do some volunteer work for the Maine Appalachian Trailland Trust. My actual job is I do analytics for TD Bank.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice.
But I do some volunteer work for them. So essentially, like they manage all the land, not the physical AT, but all the land that abuts the AT.
Sure.
And try to buy swaths of land or gain easements to kind of push that corridor further and further
Cool.
out.
Okay.
Because especially down south now, and I just do it for the Maine Appalachian Trail Land Trust, but like there are developments, because technically with the AT, I think it's only 100 feet that's guaranteed,
Sure.
unless there's other swaths of land that they've purchased.
Okay.
So there's like developments that are abutting right up to the AT now. So like
Yeah.
you're gonna walk through and you're gonna have like condo buildings and all
Wow.
these things. So
Yep.
their goal is to get that out like 500 to 1,000 feet. So even if there was development, you're not gonna see it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like some casino bill or something in Virginia.
Oh, boy.
It's somewhere down there where it's like the hotel's going to be like,
I hate these casinos going into every state.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
takes the
Stupid.
lure of Vegas and Atlantic City away.
yeah.
On top of just ruining your local economy.
Right, it
Not
basically-
ruining it, but you know what I mean. Like
Well, it certainly ruins the landscape and
Right.
these places along
like-
the trails or whatever.
Oxford, for example, it's not a big footprint. Do you know the amount they pay in tax revenue a month?
a lot.
$2.5 million every month that they pay to the
Right.
state. So like there are some good, but it's
Right.
to your point, like going in everywhere. And
Right.
there's only so many casino dollars to go around. Like people only have so much that they're going to spend,
Right.
and
Right.
it's
And like before it was in Maine, it was kind of exciting to think about going to Vegas, where all
Oh,
the
for sure.
stuff you can do that you
Yeah.
can't do here. It's just a weird,
yeah,
you know.
it is. Not that Oxford is Vegas like.
Yeah, but you can
You
like
don't
go
even get
there
free
and
drinks.
do. Yeah, it's true. That's true.
But
Have you been
no,
there?
No, I haven't.
No? It's weird, dude. It's like the size of a Martin's.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've been to Vegas, you're like, this is fucking it.
That's funny.
And the floor's tiny in comparison to like. Have you been to Vegas?
No, I've never been to Vegas.
It's a
either.
trip, dude.
Oh, I'm
Just
sure.
the size of the buildings is a trip.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, I did Interbike there, which is like the biggest bike trade show.
Oh wow. Okay.
Dude, the size of this building.
Yeah.
The room that we were in was probably 2 times the size of the main mall.
Oh my goodness.
Like the room. It
Yeah.
was one
right.
room.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe it. No, I believe it. Those trade shows are insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
And then
sure.
there's like hotel in that building, that same building. Like
Yep.
it's just,
Yeah, I've never
It's
been,
Madness.
been to Reno.
I recommend going to
do like
Vegas
Reno.
broke. Go with like 300
Right.
bucks.
That's hilarious.
It's a totally different experience. You just realize how
funny.
everything's like, I want your money, give me your money.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Like-
absolutely.
You
Yep.
can also
Yeah.
get so much free shit.
Yeah, it's a fun little game.
Nice.
Funner than any game you'll play in Vegas.
Yeah. That's
It's
awesome.
Keep your money.
Keep your money, right? probably hard to do. Easier
Yeah.
said than done. But
Yeah.
if you don't start out with a lot, like you said, maybe that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
But if you sit at the slot tables and play penny slots and
Yep.
just play for a little bit,
Oh yeah.
you get free drinks.
You're at least gonna get drunk.
Don't get hard alcohol. Get the
No.
beers because
Right.
it's a guaranteed percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even penny slots are a hoax. It's still like $2 a hit.
Right.
It's like penny slot, 200 credits.
There it's a
Yeah.
little
minimum.
bit better.
Like,
Yeah, you're not.
They
actually-
have the like corner for the
yeah,
cheap
yeah.
alcoholics
Yeah.
there. It's a trip there going, just seeing the range of people.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can imagine.
Like, it's awesome seeing just old lady next to like flossed out black dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Ground zero for people watching. I'm sure.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
So how long you been in Montana now?
About 13 years.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I graduated in 2006. I moved right out there, and yeah, pretty much lived there since I was 18.
Yeah.
Are you gonna stay there? Are you moving
For a
back here
while.
at some time, or
No, not anytime soon.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd entertain the idea, but I've been back in Maine for like 2 months, I'd say. And
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. So that was kind of the plan, was come back and hang out, a long visit, see who I wanted to see, and, have some fun. But
Yep.
I don't see myself moving back to Maine anytime soon. So
Yep.
it's nice to just spend this time with friends and family, and then just cruise back out to Montana. And
It's all about figuring out where you want your home base to be.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have to stay there.
right, exactly.
Keeping
No.
your life where you can come home for 2 months
Yeah.
is awesome. That's
Yep.
enough, Maine.
Right.
Where-
Yeah. No.
Where are you from in Maine?
Oh, Yarmouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I've been looking at land out in Montana. Like a lot
Okay.
of it's pretty expensive, but
Right.
I found some like smaller, cheaper plots, like quarter acre, half acre for, I won't get into the details, but that's kind of what I've been leaning towards is, buying like a half acre for, 25 grand or something.
Just got into
let's
the
say,
details.
Shit. That's not bad.
Edit that out.
Yeah.
But
That's quite comparable to out here.
Right. And I've been looking at land out here in Maine too, just kind of for fun. And there's tons of cheap land.
Yeah, if you don't want to be right around Portland.
No, and I don't.
Right.
Yeah, Yarmouth, Falmouth, all those places.
Yeah.
Insane.
It's crazy what you can get up north, though. It's like you can get like 2 acres for 10 grand.
Yeah. No, it's wild.
Yeah, and as more industry moves to like work from home and quality internet, like you can start to live in those places.
Yeah, dude. So I was in Strong, which is not even a half an hour, 15 minutes outside of Farmington, on its way to Rangeley. But I couldn't get internet there. So I was doing everything off my phone, and it sucked, dude. Yeah. Like, you're, like, sitting there, like, I was growing up there, and it's like, you have an issue in your garden. Like, is this worth looking up right now?
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wild.
Like,
I do.
I was spending, like, $100 a week on data.
Holy shit.
And I wasn't, like, watching shit. It's just, like, you don't realize how much data goes through your computer when you have Wi-Fi.
Right.
It's like 60 gigs a month.
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
can even imagine.
Low end.
Of course. Right.
You know, and when you stream something on Netflix, it's a couple gigs.
Yep, for sure.
You know? I'd be streaming stuff on YouTube in like 240 resolution and shit, like all chunky. It sucked.
Oh man.
Yeah, we take that for like we take full advantage of that. It's crazy. Like when we built this house, we're not even that far out of anything.
Right.
And it took them 4 months, I think.
To get you internet?
Yeah.
Wow.
What, the rest of the road doesn't have internet?
No, they did, but so I don't know what it's called, but some box, it has to be like within 150 feet of your house, which is our driveway.
Sure.
So the closest one was at the neighbors. So like, we're going to have to put in another box.
Build a box.
Yeah, and there was so much construction that it's like, it's going to take 4 months, maybe 6 months.
Crazy.
And it's like, that's in a place that's crazy populated.
Right.
So in a place like that, like...
Dude, I started enjoying media way more because of it. Like, I'd go to Walmart and I'd, like, buy a movie.
Yeah, right.
DVDs are cheap.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure they are. That's crazy.
And you start falling in love with, like, for me, cinema again. Like,
yeah, totally.
Netflix, I spend more time flicking through it, not picking anything than watching it.
Right.
And when you have DVDs and you're bored, you're just like, fuck it, I'll watch that movie again.
Right.
Yeah, that was the same thing when we moved in here because that was the only option we had was to just flip through DVDs or watch Tim the Tool Man because that was the only thing that was on repeat on
Can't go wrong with Tim the Tool Man Taylor.
That's hilarious.
That is weird. That's still in syndication.
Well, there's like I forget what the TV show is or the station is now on Antenna, but it was Tim the Tool Man, That 70s Show, and something else. 8-hour blocks.
Holy shit.
Like, so there was just 3 shows on repeat. Every fucking day.
That's so funny.
That's how like crack addiction started. There's like, I don't know, give them 3 shows on repeat.
Right? They'll never leave.
Building a credenza.
I went to bed a lot earlier for sure.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna sit here and watch this.
Yep.
That's funny.
Kept me outside more. Like it's almost nice.
Yeah,
like having the internet's nice, but having it all the time is you're a slave to it.
Yeah.
Whether you want to or not.
Right. Yeah.
It's
true.
Yeah, it's like if I work from home, I wish I could have it just from the hours I need to work from home, and then it would just like cut out.
Right. Be able to download a few things, like get a half an hour after work where you can be like, all right, got my media.
Yeah, because some nights I'll find myself, it's like, fuck, man, I watched like 3 movies tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's bad. Like there were documentaries or about something cool, but still, like that's bad.
Yeah.
Especially coming in this season where it's dark really early. There's no snow. There's nothing you really do yet.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And I think we're in an era where there's like we're so oversaturated with like documentary stuff that we're all becoming know-it-alls.
Yeah, no, it's totally true.
You know,
it's
like
totally
no, I watched a documentary on it, dude. I know about this.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
that's
the guy
so funny.
that did the documentary said he didn't know what he's doing with this.
More than you do, though, which is
yeah.
That's funny.
I find that fascinating. I think that's the most progress I've made with myself since I was younger. Like when I was younger, I was a know-it-all, and now that there's so much information out, I'm like, you don't know anything.
You don't know anything, right?
Nothing.
Right. Nothing.
Like
nothing. I know. Right. It's like I know a little bit, and it's still nothing.
Right.
You know. I guess the more you know, the more you know. You don't know shit.
Right. Yeah. Right? The most important things I know in life are how to like tie my shoes. Put pants on. You know what I mean? When you really boil it down, like those are the things that would be a struggle if I didn't know what This camera shit does not matter. The fact that I sort of know how to set up a podcast doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. And I guess as we get more digital these days, you know, it's so easy to lose sight of basic skills. You know? It's like, I don't know, just like starting
Dude, if you get into the trades right now, you make money.
Yeah, for sure.
Because nobody wants to do it. Nobody knows
Nobody
how
wants
to do it.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
You know?
But everyone wants it done for them.
Right.
So.
Right. And there's like, I'm pretty proud of this with my car. Is since I got it, I haven't paid anyone to do anything on it.
That's awesome.
Like everything that's gone wrong, I've been like, no.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's an old enough, shitty enough car that I can do that. Like if I had Mike's car, I probably wouldn't be doing it. But like 2 weeks ago, I changed my drive shaft out, and most people would be like, "Oh my god!" And it was like I went to the junkyard and spent $100.
You want to change mine out? I need a new drive shaft right now.
You need a new drive shaft?
Yeah, center bearing is gone.
Hey, same buddy.
Yeah.
Did it come out?
No, it's still whining like crazy.
Dude,
So
mine
it's not
came
yet.
out. I was in the middle of Phippsburg.
What happens when it goes out? Because I keep thinking about that driving to work.
That bearing keeps your drive shaft. If it's a 2-piece drive shaft, it keeps it from like bucking around. So when it goes, it starts bucking or against your car, and you're like, "This, like I fucked my
Terrible
car
sound.
up. Like my transmission's toast." And it's really not that big of a deal.
No, yeah, because they quoted me like, they're like, we can't fix the center bearing because they got to send it out.
Right.
So they're
Yeah, I
like, new
bought the
drive
center
shaft.
bearing first, and then realized that the center bearing was mounted on it. It sucked.
Yeah, $1,800 to replace the drive shaft. Yeah.
Yikes.
We'll look at it.
Yeah.
I'll do it for 15.
I keep asking Jason, Brittany's brother, but he's too busy.
We can look at it. On the Subaru, it was literally like 6 bolts.
Yeah.
And the biggest issue was rust.
Yeah, because I looked at the price. It was like $150 for.
Really?
Maybe not that much. It wasn't expensive for a new drive shaft. So.
Right.
Dealing with rust was the hardest part, so it'd probably be easier on your car than mine.
Yeah. That's the only thing I don't know anything about is cars. But like to your point with trades, like.
Well, and back in the day, it was just like, it wasn't even trades back in the day. It was like, I'm not paying somebody to do this. I know enough plumbing, enough electrical. I know how to take bolts off cars.
Yeah.
And now we have all the fucking knowledge on YouTube.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And people don't do it.
I know, and they still don't do it. What the hell?
It's crazy.
No, that saved me with the last house. It saved me with this house.
Yeah.
Like.
And on a car, dude, it's so satisfying going from a car that's broken to driving a car again and having the issue gone.
Yeah.
You're just like, I made myself mobile.
Yeah.
Yep.
I changed the headlight the other day in my car. I thought I was fucking.
Right.
I would not be admitting that on a recorded broadcast.
Cars, I know nothing about. Like electrical
that's
construction. Like I can manage through that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
All it is fucking trying it.
Yeah.
Right.
9 times out of 10, like, you can look around this and be like, okay, I see how it went together.
Yeah. Yep.
For me, it's always tools. Like I've invested
having
so
the
much
right
in
tool.
construction tools that it's like I can't do this with cars too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thankfully, it's not as many tools.
Yeah, but I go down rabbit holes with tools. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I got $5,000 worth of tools in that other room because.
What are you, bragging?
No, it's just like you want to build this one thing. And it's like you could do it with these tools, but it's really nice with this tool.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy that tool.
I'm like that with video gear.
Yeah.
Like, I'll look at it and be like, that'll do the job. But
This
that
will do
does the
better.
job real good.
Yeah.
Yep.
10
And then
times
nobody
more.
pays me for it, so I really just spend this money for me.
I know. I always justify it like, well, I can sell stuff.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's an app.
AKA Christmas presents.
Yeah,
I make
exactly.
Christmas presents.
It cost me way more than buying them. So anything you miss about Maine?
Yeah, man. I mean, I miss the ocean.
Yeah,
right.
It's always
and
the
then-
answer, I feel like.
Yeah, I love the ocean for sure, and obviously we don't have that in Montana, but so seafood, obviously. But then
What's
just
the regional food out there?
regional
Fried
food is
buffalo
like,
testicles.
yeah, it
They're
literally
good.
is.
I lived
Yeah,
in
it's-
Denver for a year, and
Yeah.
they're fucking good.
Yep. But then wild game like
Yeah.
elk or
Gotcha.
Yeah, because you guys have
Deer.
like different rules. I feel like for selling that, like you rarely see
Yeah.
venison out here. Like if it's farmed, you can do it. But when
Right.
we lived in Colorado, it was like you'd see it all over the place. And I don't know
Yeah.
if it was just different or they had more farms that are.
Is that the case in Montana?
I'm
Is
not
it on
sure
menus
what
and
the. Oh yeah, no, it definitely is. Yeah, so you go to a restaurant or
You
whatever.
can get elk at a restaurant.
Oh yeah, yep.
Is it wild elk? Or you don't know?
I'm not sure about elk actually. Now
you're
that I
a
think of it,
professional, bro.
But What makes you think that?
I don't know, your hat.
Oh, that's great.
Professional sweeper.
Professional sweeper. That's right. It's misprint actually. It's supposed to be L. It's supposed to be sleeper. So I'm great at sleeping. I'm really good at that. No, but I'm actually a workaholic, and I went to see the doctor recently, and he told me that I have to stop working because I'm addicted to it. And he said, son, if you don't stop this, you're going to be working your whole life, and just need to stop right now because I can tell you've been working too hard. So ever since then, I just, quit working, and I feel better, healthier, and I'm not addicted to work anymore, which is great because
Are you ready to work again?
No, not at all. No,
Really?
I don't want to fall back into that, that habit. I don't want to relapse.
Of work?
Well, it's a joke. I'm trying to make a joke here.
Yeah.
You got it.
Workaholic. Do you ever watch the show?
No.
Really funny. Oh, it's good stuff.
I don't watch
You
TV.
ever seen that?
It's funny.
Dudes are funny.
Yeah. I don't watch much TV either, but it's a funny
I
show.
watch too much TV, but
Anyways.
You have a good point though. Like even though
I thought you were being serious, like working.
Yeah.
Sometimes my jokes are just
Deadpan.
people.
Yeah.
In the
People
back of
don't
my
get
mind,
it.
I was like, he's probably
Is he trying to be funny?
But I can see him like continually need a job to be able to live here. Because that's the struggle in those areas is maintaining financial stability.
Right. In
Like through the
Montana,
winter,
it's-
you're like, I'm good.
Right. Montana it's very seasonal, so whether you're a rancher or, a ski patroller or a guide for something or other, you're probably not working 12 months of the year.
Right.
Like a lot of the other parts of the country. And you got to get pretty creative to make ends meet, whether you're selling shit on Craigslist or
Mushrooms that he grows in his
yeah, exactly. Growing something in your basement, like whatever it is, Tomatoes, right. A lot of the times.
It's a very profitable tomato market in Montana.
Yes.
So what's the most morally corrupt thing you've had to do for money out there?
What the fuck type of a question is that?
Where do I even start?
What laws have you broken in Montana?
All of them. Laws of gravity, laws of man and nature. I wouldn't even know where to start. But oh man, no, it's just about being creative out there. It's like I've been working at like ski resorts or restaurants, cutting firewood too. So there's money to be
northern
made.
Maine.
Yeah. Right. Same with northern. Yeah. Maine is very similar.
You hit any desolate area and it's the same hustle.
Oh yeah.
It's like there's like 6 months out of the year that I can make good guaranteed money.
Yep.
And sometimes if you're creative enough, those other 6 months can be more profitable than the other. Like the people that build houses in those areas make plenty of money in the summer, and then they just ski all winter.
Yep. It's
And
true.
you work harder. Like I find myself so complacent in my job. It's like I know exactly what I'm getting paid every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know exactly how much time you're taking off a year.
Yeah. And like back when I didn't have that, it's like you work way harder to try to find any way to either make ends meet or get a little more to do something. But
But you also, I find myself better when I don't have like a guaranteed job being like, okay, March next year, I'm taking a week and I'm doing this river.
Yeah.
And like, regardless of what comes up, I'm telling anyone like that week I'm off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also when you're chasing the hustle like that, we'll end soon, Mike. I also find myself on the other end of that where you're chasing. This is why I kind of thought you were serious with the workaholic thing. Is because you constantly are like, I'm about to be broke.
Right.
You can't kayak right now.
Yeah.
Like, you need to go make a little bit of money so you can pay your bills.
Right. That's what sucks too is like, I don't love working, but.
You just told me you did.
That was a joke. That was part of the joke.
I don't get this.
But I was just going to say, it's like, I don't like to work, but finding a job, like spending 40 hours a week looking for a job is even worse. You don't have one. It's like, what the hell am I going to do? You wake up every day.
The effect that has on your mental state.
Shit. Yeah, it fucking sucks.
You're like, I suck.
Right.
I can't do this job. I can't do this job. I can't do this job.
And you can't roll a joint and go out, ride your mountain bike because you have to find a fucking job.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when you do find a job, it's like, sweet, I have, Tuesdays and Wednesdays off, and you have that time set aside, and then you can work the rest of the week or whatever. So
the older I get, the more I appreciate the weekend warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, I was like, you fucking gave up, you bastard.
Right.
Now I'm like,
oh, we're seeing the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mike asked you a question earlier, and I kind of cut you off with it. But is there anything else that you miss about Maine?
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, just Maine in general is just such a unique place. Everything from the rivers and the mountains that we have to the ocean.
Yep.
My family's got a great cabin up in northern Maine on Moosehead Lake, so
Nice.
Go up there.
That's an
whenever I'm
underappreciated area of Maine.
Absolutely is,
and it's developed. It's not like there's not people visiting there, but nobody really talks about it.
It's pretty remote. A lot of it.
Where are you on Moosehead?
The West Shore. Like, do you know where Rockwood is?
Yep.
Yeah.
I just shot a grow out there.
Okay.
Shout out Northern Remedies. There's a weed shop up in Rockwood now.
Oh yeah. Are they open?
Yeah.
They're open. Okay.
Yeah,
Is it by the gas station
gardens.
there?
Yep.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It's all rough cut lumber, and it's
nice.
dope.
Okay, cool. I think I was there like a month and a half ago, and it looked like they weren't open.
Yeah.
But I
think they've got weird hours right now because of it's dead season. Right?
Well, right.
The hunters aren't up there buying weed.
Right. No one's snowmobiling yet.
Right.
But yep.
Yeah, that area is awesome.
Definitely.
In between Jackman and there is like the shit.
Oh yeah.
That's my chunk of Maine.
Yep.
Like my family's got a camp, Abbott.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
So in between Abbott and Bingham,
cool.
There's a lake called Kingsbury Lake.
Okay.
And my family's got a camp there. I grew up four-wheeling all around that area. So I'm like just south of the like Moosehead area.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're back in that like no man's land, which
Nice.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
It's a good spot.
It is. You can drink on the back roads and nobody's going to yell at you.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yep.
It's good times up there.
Yeah.
Highly suggested, but have a full tank of gas. Let people know where you're going. Like you're not. That's the thing to kind of bring it back to the park thing is, you're not checking in there.
Right.
No.
Like if you might be stuck there.
Yeah. Pick your ass up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to be prepared.
Right. Which to me, those adventures are way. I like the adventure to the water more than when I get my kayak on the water. That's my reward.
Sure. Right.
For the trip.
Yep. Yeah. Same thing with like backcountry skiing or splitboarding like I do. It's like I'll always love the way down the most, but doing it like the act of going uphill is almost as fun, It's just relaxing and it's good exercise too. And you know, so you feel good.
The view slightly changes as you're moving.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
I think a lot of people out that are into the outdoors have a love for the changing landscape.
Yeah.
Like you move in a car and it's just it changes. It changes. Walking, you're like, oh, let's go lightly over that ridge and see what's over there.
Right.
And you can kind of
much different feel.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And it's for us, we're not even seeing what people used to see.
Right.
No.
Like it used to be like nobody knows what's over that ridge.
Yeah.
Like I envy that.
Oh, sure. I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
What it used to be like.
Right.
Kind of imagine these roads weren't here or, this park wasn't here. Or
this mountain wasn't named.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
there were no trails. And Yeah.
But then again, to our point earlier of nobody's really getting out and doing it anymore, you might be the only guy that went up that ridge this year.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Or you might go back in a week and there's like 10 hunters and you're like,
oh.
Yeah. I thought I was onto something.
Yeah. Funny feeling.
This is like local land.
Yeah. Yep.
So, anything in Montana that you didn't expect, like, as far as something bad, like that you thought it was going to be that it wasn't?
No, I mean nothing really comes to mind.
Yeah.
The mountains.
Yeah, mountains
they're tough.
They're real tough, real rugged.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Maine here, so I've always loved the mountains and skiing and all that, but it's just a whole different world.
Right.
Way bigger. And
I realized it when I went through Tahoe. Yeah. Coming from Sacramento up to Tahoe, I drove uphill for like an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That puts it into perspective.
Crazy.
You're like, Maine doesn't have mountains. Maine has little blips.
Right, they're just hills.
Yeah.
Yep. But no, on the other hand too, it's like it's all relative, Like if I've never been to Alaska, but if you were to go to Alaska and compare that to somewhere like Montana or Tahoe, it's like they're just hills down here.
Right.
But it's all a matter of perspective too, because it's like you can die on Bradbury Mountain or
Right.
Mount Katahdin, or you can, go to the top of Denali and ski down. It's a matter of,
Right.
what
Sometimes bigger's
happens.
safer.
Sometimes.
Yep.
Right.
Like out here, it's icy and sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out there, like, especially if you're on a resort, like, you get a nice cushy ride down if you're not out in the backcountry.
Yep.
Yeah, for the most part.
And some of it's easier. Like when we lived in Colorado, like we did plenty of 14,000 footers that were way easier than, things in New Hampshire. You're starting at 12,000 feet. It's
Right.
not that bad.
No, for sure. I mean, look at like Mount Washington, highest wind speeds of anywhere on Earth,
Yeah.
And it's like you have people dying, avalanches there, exposure, whatever.
Did you see the TOS tower
No.
this past year? The
No.
tower on top of Sugarloaf bent over.
Oh, yeah.
What?
It like
That is insane.
tin canned.
Damn.
And everybody up in this Kingfield Community Forum thing,
Sure.
and everybody's like, anybody else having issues with Verizon service? Like for like a month after, and you're
No
like,
way.
a fucking tower went
You
down on the
idiot.
top of Sugarloaf. Like, do you not get how
Oh,
cell
man.
phones work?
Yep. That's so
How's
funny.
the cell phone coverage out there?
Oh, it's fine.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some dead zones. I lived in Olney, Montana, which is about 15 miles northwest of Whitefish.
Yep.
So there was no cell phone service. Really, really quiet.
Yep.
It's off the highway, but in the middle of the winter, it's like logging trucks, and that's about it. Canadians coming through.
Yep.
But really peaceful. We got good snow, and I was just working at a Nordic ski lodge, so just worked like part-time 3-4 days a week and just chilled out, got to ski.
It's
and
so cheap to live in
snowmobile.
those towns.
Yeah. No,
Like-
it's all, Montana's got a pretty low cost of living in general.
Other than Bozeman, right?
Right. Other
Bozeman's
than
like through the roof.
Whitefish too, like there's certain regions like Missoula, Bozeman, and then like Whitefish.
Yeah.
More comparable to like places like California or
Yeah.
other coastal regions, but like overall Montana is cheap.
Yeah.
It's cheap living, but it's
But in
rough.
those
It's
cheap
rough, too.
places, there's not a lot to make money off.
Exactly.
Unless
Right.
you're
So-
logging or...
right. There's outdoor recreation and stuff,
Yeah.
fishing, hunting, whatever, but you're gonna struggle for sure. Like you gotta be a hard worker, and you gotta be tough.
Yeah.
Because like Maine, winters are fucking cold and summers are real hot.
Yeah.
So if it's too hot for you, or if it's too cold, then why don't you go to Florida?
Right.
That's the way I see it.
Totally.
But
It bugs me when you see those type of places and people try and polish them.
yeah.
It's like, just let it be.
Right.
Let it be for the people that are willing to
Yeah.
do
Yeah, 'cause there
that lifestyle.
Plenty of people that are.
Right.
Right.
And there's, I
Right.
mean, Colorado's there. Like, if you want the
Yeah, that was the worst.
catered to lifestyle in the
Yeah.
woods,
Yeah.
there you go.
You'd love Vail.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can get away from it, but like the year we lived there, like you couldn't fucking get away from that.
Right.
It was just
Yeah.
people.
Dude, the best part of living in Kingfield was when the skiing stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
You meet everybody that lives there.
Yeah.
Like, everybody stops judging you as like,
Yeah,
oh, you're
yeah.
a 6-month transplant.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, word, you're staying here for the summer?
Nice,
Like,
you're
I
legit,
grow
yeah.
big plants in my backyard.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to tell you this winter,
Right.
but I will tell you now.
Exactly, dude.
You know?
Yep.
I
Yeah.
love that. Like, there's something special about those mountain towns and
Yep.
spending a year of your life in them, a fucking decade of your life in
Yeah.
them. That's where it's at,
Definitely,
is
yeah.
the decade.
Yeah.
You
for
know,
sure.
it's one of the few areas, like Kingfield has a very big appreciation for its local history. Like, they still talk about people that made Sugarloaf, that,
Wow. Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, were popular there 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, they give a fuck about the people that have,
Right. Right.
you know, thrown society aside
Yep.
to be like, this is all I need.
Yeah. Haven't forgotten the roots.
Right.
Right. Yep. Because, things change and people change, but maybe towns like Kingfield, Sugarloaf in theory will always be Sugarloaf,
Right.
there's history and there's people, that love it and live it. So
Right. And they'll only develop it so much. Like,
Yeah.
unless you let the locals start businesses on the mountain, like,
right.
Boyne's going to just keep setting up a restaurant and then being like, oh, it doesn't work. Let's close it
Yeah.
down. Well, it doesn't work because you didn't let the local do it.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck about
Right.
it?
Right. Figure it out.
Right.
idiots.
Yeah, that whole village, the village at Sugarloaf, it's like you guys are missing what this could be.
Yeah, it's like the rack is the only one that's stood the test of time.
Right, Boyne owns the whole village.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like they dictate everything that goes on there.
Yeah.
I'm like, just let the food trucks come. Let people start
Yeah.
a little art shop. Like
Right. Those are the kind of things that are good, are important for sure.
And the village lifestyle thing, like it doesn't need to be the fancy village of Vail.
No.
It can be.
Yeah, you can't put a Prada Gucci store.
I mean, you
up
can.
there.
I'd be okay
No one's
with
gonna
it.
fucking buy
No one's
it.
gonna want it. Yeah. Oh my god.
I think there's
terrible.
potential there. I'm real excited about Saddleback.
Yeah.
I hope those people do justice to Saddleback because
It's got to be different. Like, it's the only way it's going to be successful.
right. And well, and they have Rangeley right there. They
Yeah.
can keep it a destination-y mountain and then build up the Rangeley thing, and it's two separate.
Yeah, and Rangeley has some good stuff going on.
It does.
Like, have you been to that bowling place there now?
I haven't, but they've booked
sweet.
like good bands there.
Yeah.
Mallet Brothers plays up there all the time.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
Yep. And they're downtown. That's the big downfall of Kingfield.
Yeah.
Is that it? Like
There
I
is.
lived right downtown, and it's a stick-built downtown, which is cool in its own regard, but they like won't let it expand.
Yeah.
And then they let
Good.
a Dollar General in there
Huh.
because it's just outside of downtown. I'm like,
I feel like that's a nail in the coffin when your town goes to shit.
they're a fucked up business in general. They put real estate up, run their business through it till they've paid off the real estate, move out of the building, and sell the building as profit.
Yeah. Thanks.
And they also undercut the local milk market. So their milk gallons are like cheaper than your local place.
Yep.
Can you even do that?
It was their original business model. I don't know if
because
it can
like
now.
Maine has
It might be
milk
different
minimum.
in Maine.
Yeah.
Huh.
Or milk maximum.
No, I think it is minimum.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy.
Are they doing that out there? Like little weird box stores going in and
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I don't really pay attention to too much of that. But,
Right.
there's Walmarts and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what people's perceptions are of Montana, but it's not all just like cows and, like trees and snow.
everybody wore a Stetson.
I know. That's what you thought.
Where's your Stetson?
I forgot it at home.
I'm going to have your ass when you get back.
I know. I'm undercover. Oh, man.
There is areas that it's like that though, right?
No, there absolutely is. But then there's areas, like I was saying, like there's a Flathead Valley and there's Bozeman and Missoula where it's urbanized or whatever,
Right.
it's
Everything
there's
you
box
need is
stores
there.
and it's consumption junction,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. But then it's nice because you can go 15, 20 minutes out of town and it's peaceful, quiet wilderness and woods where you can get away from it all. And there's plenty of room for everyone to do that.
Yep.
As long as you don't move there,
Yeah,
because
right.
it's full.
Yeah, just come and pay taxes.
Yep. South Dakota is a beautiful place and it's really close. You can move there.
I've actually heard
probably.
great things about South Dakota.
South Dakota's actually like
Yeah, I mean, all
Better than Montana.
It's all all good.
Way better than Montana.
Do you have a fear that that's going to happen? Like how Denver blew up? Or
I mean,
Salt Lake? Or...
it is happening.
Yeah.
It's happening right now. And that's why I moved out of Bozeman is because it just got too big and too crowded. And that was 5 years ago. And it's just now happening in Whitefish. Like whether it's people from like Texas or California, they're a lot of these people are coming and they're rich, I don't know where their money comes from, but they build a mansion, on the ski hill and they're only there like 2 months out of the year, but it's like a 15,000 foot square mansion,
Right.
and it's ridiculous. Like
They like pay somebody to maintain it while they're not there.
Yeah, exactly. They got the heater or the air conditioner running 12 months of the year. And, it's like, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
You're an asshole.
Well, and then you also get the people that are living in a city that are claiming the outdoor lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like they moved to Bozeman to be in Montana, bro.
Yep.
And you're like,
Yep.
yeah, but you didn't.
Yeah. No, I know. It's
Why don't
ridiculous.
you stick to the resort there, Chief?
Yes, please do that.
See you in the backcountry. I'm starting an avalanche above you.
Yep. Oh, man. Love it.
I noticed that up in Kingfield a little bit. Not
Yeah.
a ton,
No,
but you
I'm
get
sure.
this sliver of like, okay, you're up here to be a snowboarder.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's the fad
Right.
for sure.
I mean, I guess that was
Some of those girls are hot, though.
Yeah, some of them are.
Real hot. Some are not.
Some are not.
yeah,
But a lot of them are. Ooh, I hope my girlfriend didn't hear that.
And you have to dedicate yourself to it fully. Like, we moved to Colorado, and after we moved back, it's like I did feel like that person. Like, because we got real jobs in Denver and tried to hike and ski, and it's like, unless you throw yourself into that, you're just going to be...
Yeah. And if you don't do it right when you get out there, you're probably not going to do it.
You're another shitty
You got this
statistic.
few week thing where you can be like, all right, I can jump in. Nobody knows who I am. I can pitch myself as the person that I want to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
No,
know?
I hear locals
I
like...
love that about moving.
Yeah.
Oh,
You just show up and you're like, all right,
It's great. You're anonymous.
new person.
You're almost
you know.
invisible.
Yep.
Right.
Is that why you keep moving?
No comment.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I came back to do a few serial murders. Trying to get one in every state.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
No, but that's what were you gonna
ahead.
say?
No, you're good.
Fuck. Maybe I just forgot what I was gonna say. Oh
I
yeah.
have to do with killing somebody.
No, that's not what I'm doing. I was gonna say is you move somewhere, and like Montana, I'm from Maine, you know, so I've lived there a while, so I feel like a local, you know, I know the area, but I'm just another asshole from, you know, the East Coast that moved out there, and I can't really complain about how it's filling up because
I'm part of it.
I'm part of the problem, you know,
Yep.
and I don't know. I like to be thankful for where I'm at because sooner or later, like, it will be full, and it'll be hard to make a living there or to, you know.
But I'm sure you've noticed in that regard where, like, once you've stayed there a year, the locals are more like, okay, you're part of this.
Right.
Not all of them, but a lot of them are like, okay, you're like trying to be part of Montana.
Yeah. Like you were saying, it's like you earn your keep, you know, and people kind of look at you differently because you're not just some, you know, asshole that showed up and then left after the resorts closed.
Yeah.
You know?
And you get, like, up north, I'd have people just stop by my house. And it was so weird comparatively to, like down here, it'd be like, what the fuck are you doing showing up at my house without being like, hey, I'm in the area.
Yeah.
But up there, you don't have service at your house. So they're like,
what can you do?
Oh, sorry. You know?
Yeah.
But I loved that. Like, it makes you realize when you don't have service in an area like that, how much having these phones and shit and mics on all the fucking time, like, ruin community.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I mean,
You know? You don't just stop by like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Just making sure you're okay. You text it instead.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you get this manicured response, and instead of showing up and somebody, you're like, oh, you're not okay. Like,
let's
go out into the woods.
Right. No,
you haven't been in the woods
Let's
enough,
do it.
You know?
Yeah. Unplug for 10 minutes. Is it going to kill you? No, it's not. It's going to do the opposite. You're going to be alive and living, feeling it and breathing it. I don't know. I think the idea of social media, you know, like Facebook 15 years ago, was like, oh, it connects people, you know, like you can talk to your friends, and now look at us now. Like I'm guilty of it too, you know. I'm on my phone a lot, and it's just like a part of life. We're just glued to our phones, and I just try.
And people are still like, oh, I don't want it in my body. I'm like, it's in your fucking pocket.
Too late.
Yeah, like,
too late, sport.
You might as well embrace it.
Yeah, right.
You know, I'm ready for the chip. Give me the chip.
Cut me open and
I'll do it.
Yeah. Oh man. Sometimes I feel like my life is an episode of Black Mirror.
I think we're all living in Black Mirror.
I think so too.
I don't think anybody's in control anymore.
No.
Like, you're part of a system.
Yeah.
There's no. You look at stores. There's no like personality to a store anymore.
Right.
Because places like Walmart have come and stripped them away.
Sandbagging. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we're all just consumers, and all we can do is make choices and consume those choices that we make, and just continue to consume. It's kind
and
of
the
scary.
better we get at it, the better big business is at masking what they're doing and selling it to us anyways.
Yep. Right in front of our faces, behind our backs.
Oh, you want organic? We'll give you organic vegetables.
Ooh, yeah.
They're hydroponically grown organic vegetables with zero nutrients to them. But
there's no glyphosate in them.
Right.
We don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
There was a glyphosate field right next to it.
Right.
Might be some overdraft, but...
Oh, man.
Or overdrift. Drift?
Drift over?
Drift over?
Are you drifting?
You know what I fucking mean. The shit that flies over and then everybody gets mad.
Drones?
Yeah, drones. Shoot them all.
Oh, man.
All right, I think we got to finish up. We're at an hour and 40 minutes.
Jesus.
That's our longest one yet,
Yeah.
but I think it was a good one.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
So there's more in common with Montana and Maine than we came into this thinking.
Yeah.
Just a bigger scale.
You don't have a fucking ocean, though.
No, we're oceanless. I think the Senate's voting on that, though. Stay tuned.
Anything else you want to... I got that one. Anything else you want to get into before we head it up? Anything you want to say?
Yeah.
You want to thank Janet Mills for trying to sell everything in the state to fund everything that she wants to do?
No, I don't think so.
I do. Thank you, Janet. Fucking up our state more.
Oh, man. Isn't she better than Polly Boy?
I don't think so.
Not
I
at
think
this
so.
point.
She's not?
Well,
Oh,
Dude,
man.
she just looks for free money.
Just not a government prostitute, huh?
yep.
Uh-huh.
Well,
She's hotter than Paul.
yeah, right.
She's not hot, but she's hotter than Paul.
At least he saved money.
Oh,
Yeah, he
man.
just didn't spend any money.
Yeah.
Is she less racist?
No, she
I don't
does have
think
that
so.
going for her.
No,
At least in public.
she doesn't like white people.
Well, I don't either. White people suck.
Yeah.
We do suck. But it's still racist.
Fair.
To think we
That's-
suck.
Yeah.
Touche.
You have anything you want to add? You want to ask him anything we didn't ask him?
No, I
You want
think
to puff
I
your
have-
jewel a few times?
yeah. I need some more bourbon, but
Don't we all?
You good?
I'm good.
All right. Got a few good ones down the can. We're going to talk about snowboarding with Will Mayo. And I think he's building friggin' winches or something.
Still?
He just posted this video of he's at Lost Valley installing a winch in their park or something. So they finally listened, people.
Yeah.
They finally put a fucking winch in the park.
It's 15 years later, man.
Been asking for it all our fucking lives.
New owners. That'll help.
It will. They got a brewery there.
Yeah, we were just there for a corporate event, and it's actually, they put in like a whole new, you know where the deck is?
Yep.
So they redid that whole deck, put in a new patio with a giant fire pit. It's looking
dope.
Yeah, it's sweet.
I'm going to have to go.
Yeah, it looks like they're putting in the work.
Yeah, the brewery. I mean, they look like they give a fuck about their brewery. It wasn't like, oh, we can do this and
No.
bring people.
No, they took it from, you know where the bar was, tucked in that back corner.
Yeah.
Now it's out like by the fire pit, or by the fireplace inside. Like it's...
Embracing that alcoholism.
Yeah. Don't hide it.
Right. All right. So we're having Will, and then I think we've got my buddy.
Bigfoot man.
He asked to not be referred to as Bigfoot Man, but yes, my friend that is very confident that there's Bigfoot out and about. What do you think about Bigfoot, Mr. Montana Man?
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me.
It's kind of where
I think
at.
there's been
I'm
some
not
sightings
sold
out
on
there.
it,
Yeah.
but
I like to think of myself as like an open-minded, kind of skeptical.
Yeah.
You know, because, yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough to say either way, but I'd like to think that there's some like that out there.
there's some creepy shit that you come across in the
yeah.
woods that has no explanation.
Yep.
So
Especially
that's
prints
more what he wants
sometimes.
to talk
Yeah.
about is weird shit in the woods.
Yeah.
Which we both have stuff we can talk about that's weird shit in the woods. And this dude finds more sheds of
Nice.
antlers than anyone I know. His dog, he's got his dog trained to do it. Like, I'm just impressed he has his dog
Yeah.
trained.
Speaking of weird shit in the woods, do you remember hiking that time? And we heard that weird, like, you ever seen Lost? There was like that
No.
smoke monster. Were you with me that time? It was like that. Whoom, whoom, whoom.
I feel like it was.
Yeah. So I recently, within the last year and a half, totally found out what that was.
What?
It's a fucking partridge.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like a lawnmower starting up,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's a weird sound for sure. I was real tripped out the first time.
Yeah,
I
we
heard
hiked
that.
for like.
Yeah.
I thought it was with you, and it was definitely with Drew one time, like 8 miles, and kept hearing like a fucking snowmobile in the distance starting up that won't start.
And they're
we
like
went,
5
so
feet next to
funny.
you.
Yeah, I found
That's
it
the
out.
worst.
Birds.
You like
Yeah.
almost step on them.
Yeah.
So weird. Yeah, they're just like too dumb to move or something.
Yeah.
I don't know
And then
what
they
it is.
freak
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I went 10 years thinking out in Grafton Notch there's some weird fucking monster.
There probably is.
Crazy
Yeah.
guy in the woods with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Awesome.
I don't disbelieve in the Bigfoot.
In Maine?
Yeah. I mean, I did see that movie where he just died.
Bigfoot died?
Sam Elliott, same guy that
Sam
killed...
Elliott died?
No. There was a movie with Sam Elliott. He killed Hitler, and then...
Sam Elliott killed Hitler?
Yeah, and then he was... Yeah, he was tasked to kill Bigfoot, and he did.
This is the one you were just telling me about that you said was a documentary?
No, it wasn't. I mean, it's kind of a documentary. Yeah, Bigfoot had some weird virus that was killing it. Actually, I think in Montana.
Probably.
Yeah. And to save the world, they had to kill Bigfoot. So I'm excited to hear his take on it.
All right. We're hopefully doing that Sunday. We'll see. I'm pumped for Will. Will is a specimen, if you don't know Will Mayo. He is a Worcester Polytech graduate that then went pro snowboarding.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Engineer to
the right way to do it. Yeah. That's the way to ski bum. You go in with a Worcester Polytech engineering degree.
Sounds expensive.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We'll see you next week. Hope you enjoyed this one. The Votum Network at gmail.com. Votum Network on Instagram. I haven't really done anything on Facebook yet because, I don't know. There's too much shit to do.
Yeah,
you put it on all these fucking platforms and
right.
You don't have any time to go snowboard.
You should make an app to post all these things on the app for you.
It probably is, and they probably charge you, and I'm broke, so sponsor us, LL Bean. Been looking for this sponsorship for like a month now.
Just don't listen to the first episode.
Yeah, don't listen to the first one. Probably the second one, third and fourth. You might not want to listen to, but this one, I appreciate you.
Oh, man.
I like Freeport. And Gucci Gang, we're out.